What? I don't I don't get. Oh shit. Man, fuck it, I'm going.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm getting over this cold. Yeah, it was just a cold, nothing major. Damn, my ears pop. I did my videos this morning for TikTok, and guys, since I wired this thing down to a half ohm per amp, it is so stupid. Like, it's never ever been this loud. And I have not went nowhere near full tilt yet. But anyway, bass knobs, clip lights, and voltmeters. Yeah, that sounds like a really good subject. Bass knobs, clip lights, and voltmeters. Okay, so these are some of the things that I think that a lot of new people to car audio just don't understand. And when most of us bass heads talk about a bass knob, we talk about a bass knob. It is a bass knob with a voltmeter. But the thing is, I see so many people out there like with the damn Planet Audio amp, and they're like, where can I get a bass knob for this? And I think they're talking about the phone cord thing that plugs in. I don't know. I never use that shit. I throw it away. But that's what we mean when we mean bass knob, though. Those little things that usually come with an amp are junk. I don't like them. Never have. Never used one. I mean, the problem I've ran into with them, if you turn your gain knob like all the way down and you turn that knob all the way up to adjust it, you're still going to get dirty signal pretty much no matter what. Or that's been my experiences on cheaper amps. Now, like a Sundown Salt, I don't know. I've never tried the bass knob. Like my DS18 Korean amps, they come with them bass knobs, the clip light and all that shit in it. And I have never tried them because, one, with those kind of bass knobs, you'd need one per amp. So you have I'd have 4 knobs under the dash. This is RCA style. I've got a video on here how to hook one of these up. Any amp that takes an RCA cable, which they should if you're running subs, uses one of these bad boys. You can use this with anything. You can change amps, still use that. So that is your go-to for anything. And that's like a $150 bass knob. You can get a $12 bass knob. Just it's a LC1 from Ideal Control or some pack, or I don't know. But the number's like LC1, and all it is the RCA bass knob. Pointometer, it just turns volume all the way down to all the way up. So you can cruise at your subwoofers wherever. Now we gotta get in to the good old clip lights, or clip indicators. It's been my experience thus far that every amplifier that has a clip light in it, so far in my experience, the clip light has been dead on. Like you don't even need like an oscilloscope, a DD1 or anything, because I have a DD1 and I have tested it with the clip lights on Tar amps. Perfect. Tar amps clip light actually came on like a fraction of a second before the DD1 did. I've tried it on my Korean amps that I have in here now. They have a clip light and they were dead on also. And then I got some full bridge amps that I'm running my mids and highs with, so I went ahead and threw in the 1 kilohertz track, and I tested those, and the same thing. They are right there with the DD1. So any amplifier with a clip light, you do not need a DD1 or an oscilloscope or whatever to set that gain with. They are like on point. And what is odd is my little DefBonch 300x4, I actually could turn it like from where the settings are at on my head unit and my DSP. I can literally turn that 300x4 DefBonch and my DS18 5Ks full tilt, like the bass knob, or not the bass knob, the gain knob all the way up without a clip light. I guess I just have everything through the DSP and the head unit set that clean, which I thought was really, really weird that I could turn it all the way up with no distortion. But there's good DSP settings, you know. And then lastly, we're going to talk about voltmeters because a lot of people screw up on this. And believe it or not, I've seen an experienced basshead make this mistake. You always, the voltmeter on your system, you wire it to the back battery. Now, if you only have one battery in your vehicle and it's under the hood, obviously you're going to wire it there. But if you have an auxiliary battery in the back running things, that is where you're going to wire your voltmeter. I don't care if you got like a front battery and 2 back batteries, just go into the back. Because the reason being is that's where you want to pull signal from. If you pull signal under the hood, you got to think you'd have a battery in the back and you got long runs of wiring going through the vehicle up front to where the alternators are at. If you would wire your voltmeter under the hood just because it's easier, you're not reading your actual battery voltage because your alternators are going to be putting out juice sending up there, and the voltmeter is just going to pull that signal straight of what's coming out of the alternator. And I have seen an experienced basshead make this mistake before. I'm not going to mention any names, but he's a friend of mine. And he redid his system. I'm over there checking it out, and things ain't working properly. It ain't, it ain't sounding right. And he had just went through a rebuild and was down for months. And he thought that he had his battery in the back charged back up fully. And of course, his voltmeter in the dash was reading like, 16.2 volts with the vehicle running. And I broke out the old multimeter and I went to the back, and, he was like at 14.7, I think, 14.8. But the voltmeter in the dash that was wired under the hood said over 16 volts. So he was definitely the voltmeter was getting that signal from under the hood, coming straight out of the alternators versus what the battery was actually doing in the back. I don't care. Always wire your voltmeter to the battery in the back. I have one in dash and I have one in my bass knob, and both of them wire to the battery in the back. I actually don't have any other voltmeter in here except for the one in my dash. And even though my 2 other gauges, normally they stay right at 16.1, the one in my dash is reading like 18 volts, which is the factory gauge. And, I don't really put much faith in that gauge. I don't think it was right when Jeep made this thing. But that's just kind of the subjects I wanted to cover today, because it's things I see a lot of people struggle with. The bass knob thing, you need to help the young guys out, guys. I know y'all know a young bass head, but when they're looking for a bass knob for a specific amp, let them know an RCA knob will fit anything. They just got to buy it and the RCA cables. Your clip lights and your amplifiers, trust them. It's, like I said, it's been my experience, everything from like full bridge to Korean. The clip light is always on point. And wire your your voltmeters in the back. If you run an external regulated alternator, pull your battery positive and negative for the external regulator from the back. That's another mistake I actually made in this Jeep. When I first did, these Jeeps are basically factory externally regulated because the regulators in the PCM, and they're easy, just the way the alternator is made to grab one of the terminals off of it for field. But I wired everything under the hood, and the damn volt gauge and my regulator was always all over the place, and I never could get it to sit steady. Like it would be low, I would bump it up a hair. Next thing I know, I'm at 16.6, and I fought with it for a year. Finally, I broke down and wired it to the battery in the back, and after like a couple of days of just fine-tuning it, I never had to touch it anymore. So I wire everything that can go to the battery in the back. Even if you got it don't work for everybody, but it actually worked for me. That alternator whine in your speakers, I had that. And I wound up grounding my head unit straight to the battery in the back, and they got rid of like 90% of that. I mean, just run the ground wire back there. So, seems to fix a lot of stuff. But anyway, guys, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching my videos and the people that follow. Peace out, guys. And as always, oh yeah, bass on.